Hello and welcome to part 3 of this nutrition presentation. So far, we have covered level 1 energy balance, talking all about calories in versus calories out, and how that is the most fundamental concept or principle that needs to be established before moving along the pyramid. After level 1, we got into level 2, talking about macronutrients. What makes up those calories? And that's where we talked all about proteins, carbohydrates, fats. In those two levels, those two right there, that's really going to be the bulk of kind of the importance. So, kind of what I mean by that is that's where you're going to reap the most benefits kind of throughout this whole nutritional pyramid. Now, that's not to say that the next levels 3, 4, and 5, are not important. It just means that sort of, the emphasis of where your concentration should be on levels 1 and 2. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into level 3 micronutrients, talking all about vitamins, minerals, and we're also going to throw in hydration here as well. So, we need vitamins, minerals, and other compounds called phytonutrients, to be healthy and perform at our best. And it's also important that we get them in the right amounts, meaning that if we don't get enough micronutrients, we might not function quite as well as we, can and should. But also, if we get too much, usually from oversupplementation, we may also get some negative effects as well. So, getting the kind of amounts and proportions of vitamins and minerals correct is just as important. And when talking about vitamins, minerals, micronutrients, I want to talk about inclusiveness versus exclusiveness. So, and this is where we want to remember the mindset where we're making sure that we're prioritizing nutrient dense foods like fruits and vegetables, whole, minimally processed foods. We're prioritizing those over foods low in nutrients, which are typically highly processed foods, stuff that come in a box, stuff with tons of ingredients, fast food, that kind of stuff. Now, that's not to say that we can't ever have those processed foods, but again, we just want to prioritize fruits, vegetables, and those whole, minimally processed foods because those are the ones that are going to be gold mines for vitamins and minerals. So if you don't decide to watch the whole presentation on micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, how exciting is that? I want you to at least watch through the rest of this slide here. So, there's lots of different vitamins and minerals, and they themselves have lots of different functions. And this presentation isn't designed to go into detail on each and every vitamin or mineral. That's not practically applicable to your goal of body transformation. But it is important to keep the big picture in mind when it comes to micronutrients to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed. So, here's a recommended amount of fruits and vegetables you should be consuming each day to ensure that you're getting the right amount of vitamins and minerals. So, if you want, go ahead, pause the screen right here and take a little note here. And basically, what this means is, if your goals are fat loss, then you want to double down on the amount of fruits and vegetables you are eating and really emphasize that whole, minimally processed foods mindset. These fruits and vegetables will keep you feeling fuller while eating less calories and still ensuring that you're getting all those vitamins and minerals that are so, so important. So, kind of piggybacking off that last slide there, let's go over some common themes here. Eating a wide range of whole, less processed plant and animal foods can help us get abundant micronutrients easily and naturally. Some foods in particular, such as colorful fruits and vegetables, are gold mines of vitamins, minerals, and other phytonutrients. So you want to really build your diet around those types of foods. As I like to say, try and eat the rainbow. But sometimes supplementing a particular micronutrient will not have the same effect as eating a food that contains that micronutrient. And sometimes deficiency symptoms or symptoms of excess can often seem like other things. And micronutrient deficiencies and excesses can contribute to nagging, chronic, often puzzling health problems. So, different people are going to have different micronutrient needs. And while real food is the first and most important tool, some will definitely benefit from supplementation, which we'll get into in the supplement presentation. And once you've consistently implemented a diet that's involving a variety of mostly whole, minimally processed foods, and you're still kind of getting some weird symptoms or just, not really feeling your best, it might be a good idea to consider having a vitamin and mineral lab work done to pinpoint exactly where you are maybe deficient or excessive in a specific vitamin or mineral. And you can just talk to your general practitioner doctor about getting that done. So, if you've stuck around this long, first and foremost, I want to thank you. I know vitamins and minerals aren't the most exciting topic to talk about, but they are vitally important. So, let's go ahead and dive right into vitamins themselves. Vitamins participate in all metabolic processes such as growth, repair, digestion, energy transfer, nervous system function, and immunity. And we need vitamins in our diet because we can't make most of them ourselves within inside of our bodies. But luckily, vitamins are naturally found in whole, minimally processed foods, so getting them really isn't too difficult. So, vitamins are generally categorized as either fat soluble or water soluble. This chemical makeup affects how we digest, absorb, use, and excrete them. So we'll go ahead and start off with fat-soluble vitamins. So fat-soluble vitamins are mostly absorbed passively in the GI tract, meaning it doesn't require the use of energy or calories. So they usually travel bound to dietary fat, which means that if we don't eat enough dietary fat, we may not get these key vitamins, let alone effectively transport, absorb, or use them. So once in the body, fat soluble vitamins snuggle into lipid based structures or fat based structures, such as our cell membranes, our eyes, and lipid droplets in adipose cells, or more commonly known as fat cells. So, because fat soluble vitamins live in fatty tissues, we don't need to eat them every single day. Indeed, they can accumulate and actually cause toxicity. So, like other lipids, we can also excrete fat soluble vitamins through our feces. And those fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E, and K. So, kind of the most important thing there is that, in order to make the most of these vitamins, we need to be eating dietary fat along with the consumption of these vitamins. And talking about water soluble vitamins. So, these vitamins are absorbed by both passive and active mechanisms in the GI tract, meaning energy is used in some cases and not in others. But because we are always taking in and excreting water, we don't store large amounts of water soluble vitamins. Thus, we need to get these more often, probably at every single meal. Meaning it's a good idea to get those fruits and vegetables at every single meal. A common theme that we're kind of seeing throughout this whole nutritional pyramid. So, those water soluble vitamins are the B vitamins as well as the C vitamins. All right, so moving right along over to minerals. So, like vitamins, minerals don't give us energy directly, but we still need them. They help build body structures such as teeth and bones, and they also help regulate our body's fluids, and they're cofactors in enzymatic reactions. So, talking about some of the factors affecting mineral digestion and absorption, starting off with compound type. So, usually minerals must bind to other things, such as amino acids, for us to absorb and use them most effectively. For example, you can't just eat calcium by itself, otherwise, you're going to have a pretty upset stomach as soon as it makes contact with the water in your mouth there. But luckily, Mother Nature has cleverly done a lot of this compounding pharmacology for us. So, minerals are best absorbed and used when we eat, guess what? A variety of whole, less processed foods that contain minerals in their naturally occurring format, along with other foods that help us excrete those minerals. So, minerals also play a huge role in fluid balance. And as biological organisms, we are a chemical soup driven by electrical motors. So, we need substances that can help generate and regulate electrochemical impulses. And these substances are known as electrolytes. And the first thing you might think of when you come to that is Gatorade. So we need mineral-based electrolytes such as sodium and potassium to contract and relax our muscles, to balance our body fluids, and shoot signals across our nerve cells. So, last word here on vitamins and minerals and how to most effectively get them right is, the most important thing to remember is that we want to base our diets around those mostly nutrient rich, minimally processed foods. Think about those single ingredient foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, that kind of stuff. That's what we want to base the majority of our diets around. And once your diet looks like that consistently and you're still worried about a vitamin deficiency, that's when it's a good time to talk to your doctor and get some lab work done to pinpoint exactly where you are either deficient or excessive. All right, so the last thing on the agenda here for level 3 micronutrients and fluid balance is just that, fluid balance and getting water intake right. So, drinking enough water and staying hydrated is super important, as we all know, right? Water makes up over half of who we are. It's about 55 to 60% of our total body weight. And water has a lot of important jobs. It dissolves other substances, it transports substances, it catalyzes or starts a lot of chemical reactions, it lubricates tissues, it regulates temperature, and it provides minerals. Okay, so we know that getting enough water is important. We know it does a lot of vital things. Everybody knows that. But how much water do you need? So the current recommendation for fluid intake is about 3.7 liters per day for most men, about 125 ounces. If you're like most people these days, drinking out of one of those cool 40-ounce hydro flasks, that'd be about 3 of those a day. And for most women, the current recommendations are about 2.7 liters per day or about 91 ounces. But these recommendations are not for athletes, nor are they really scaled to our body mass. So, to match our fluid intake to our body mass, a good recommendation is to aim for about 2/3 of your body weight in pounds in fluid ounces. So, if you weigh about 210 pounds, this equates to roughly 140 fluid ounces of liquids per day. Another method to ensure that you're adequately hydrated is to drink according to thirst and auto-regulating your fluid intake by visually assessing the color of your urinations. So if you look at the little scale there on the screen, if the color of your urine falls within that 1 to 3 range, you're pretty well hydrated. But if you're at a 7 or higher, then you're dehydrated and you definitely want to start pounding some liquids. But something to be aware of is that some vitamins and multivitamins may alter the color of your urine, making it a darker yellow when in fact you are hydrated. So if you are taking especially like a multivitamin and your pee is like radioactive yellow, don't be alarmed. That's just the vitamin. All right, so just going over the big picture here one last time to wrap this presentation up. So, when talking about vitamins and minerals, whole, minimally processed foods like fruits and vegetables are gold mines for vitamins and minerals. A good rule of thumb is to eat the rainbow. Try to eat a ton of different colors of fruits and vegetables, and your vitamins and minerals will be taken care of. But when in doubt, get lab work done. So this is something you can talk to your doctor about. Say, hey, I feel like I might be deficient in some sort of vitamin. They'll order some lab work and go over the results with you. And talking about fluid balance and hydration, 2/3 of your body weight in pounds and fluid ounces of water each day, or until your pee is nice and clear. That wraps it up for level 3 micronutrients. Next on the agenda, we'll be diving into level 4, talking all about meal frequency and timing. And I look forward to seeing you there.